Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast Dragon Ball edition. Today we are going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter number 92, and we have the Dragon Ball expert with us, Mr. Mitch Oso. How are you doing today, sir?
Always doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. It feels like it's been a while because our last thing was in March, and March is a longer month, so it feels like it's been a lot longer than normal between the Dragon Ball episodes.
Also, they're not, last month was, pretty unique and, our special guest that we had, but these chapters are, they're just rehashings of the movie. So in terms of the actual, what's going on in a manga, it's kind of slow pace at the moment per se, but, we're getting there. We're gradually getting there.
Yeah. So I have a question for you too. Do you think, because obviously they didn't rehash the Broly movie, we've talked about this on previous pods, but they're rehashing this. Do you think they're rehashing this movie because they're actually trying to figure out what they want next?
You mean, like, are they stalling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're stalling. They don't know what they're doing. Everything, so much in the past whenever they get rushed and
Mhm.
yeah, they're just taking their sweet ass.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Mitch, we're not gonna rehash. We're gonna, go through our usual stuff. We're not gonna go over every word because, like you said, it's in the movie. At this point of the movie, if you've watched the movie, it is Piccolo versus is it Gamma 1 or Gamma 2?
Gamma 2, easiest way to find out, look at their head. Because Gamma
Oh,
1, yep, Gamma 1 has one fin and Gamma 2 has two fins.
I I never realized that.
There you go, man. There you
Wow,
go.
that's
I don't yeah, I'll be honest with you. I forget if his name is Dr. Hedo or Dr. Hito, even though I had the revelation from a couple months ago that we were pronouncing it wrong based off of the movie. So there, I taught you something and you can teach me what the
wow.
hell is his name again because
That
I
is
forget. So
so Piccolo and Gamma 2 are they're duking it out.
you had no idea. You didn't connect that.
No, I did. That was-
Funny.
but they're duking it out almost exactly like the movie. Gamma 2 gets cocky, thinks he vaporized Piccolo, even though Piccolo got out of the way. That whole thing when he Gamma 2, there's I think it's on page 18, 19, where he's like no signal. You would think that they would make these androids be able to sense power levels because there's no way if he'd be able to sense power levels that he would think Piccolo's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not really. There's another thing where it's just this is where they should have probably taken their time to have someone come by and read it, install, just a little bit more. Because it's just what we're getting, what we have to get used to, man. It's just things just don't make sense. Things contradict themselves within Super all the time. But
So then, Mitch, in the movie, do you remember if Piccolo directly follows them and then leaves and calls Bulma, or does he really, in this manga chapter, he follows them and
yeah,
calls
he did.
Bulma there?
Yeah, he did. Because
Okay.
after Gamma 2 blasted him, he flew up into the sky above him, just
Mm-hmm.
like what he did in the manga, and then he followed him all the way there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. The same thing because Piccolo was also flying, close to the ground. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know honestly why. Maybe just to try. Well, I mean, in Perfect Cell, that's how he got away from the Z fighters back in Z. Was he was running. You remember he was running
Yeah.
around on the ground, and then Krillin, Piccolo, and Trunks, Vegeta, they had no idea where the hell it went. So I guess that's why Piccolo's doing it. But yep, that was pretty accurate.
Okay. So yeah, it's the same thing. He goes in there. He's listening to the meeting. He sees Cell. He calls Bulma saying that we're in some trouble. And then Bulma is looking for her device while Piccolo goes to Korin, which, we don't see Korin every now and again. And Korin and Yajirobe, they said they only have two sensu beans. Mitch, they have had crisis on crisis on crisis on crisis. How the hell do they still only have two sensu beans?
If I were the Z Fighters, I would fight Yajirobe straight up because it is his fat ass that's eating all of those damn beans.
But
Because
why?
because he's he's just he's Yajirobe. He's not even for plot advancement. He is for plot stallment. That's what he is. He just everything could be solved if they had more senzu beans. And Yajirobe is the reason. And the thing is if he's eating all of those, he has to be super powerful. Now, I'm not saying he should be a hero, but if you eat 39 senzu beans in one sitting, you should be damn close to immortal. So
You know,
just
it's
saying.
kind of funny you said that. Maybe I doubt that's the reason, but maybe that's the reason he, out of all people, well, until Xeno erased it, was surviving in future Trunks' timeline because he made it all the way to the end.
Okay. I don't really want to put out some asinine theory, conspiracy theory about Yajirobe, but I didn't make that connection. That's just kind of funny.
It's wild.
Is it,
He was the one who made it all the way.
and he didn't deserve it. Well, okay, I don't know about that, but anyway, still,
He survived the crazy 17, 18. He survived Zamasu. All like it's just wild that Yajirobe, out of all the people, made it to the end. But I don't understand how they only have two. Like I truly don't. Like it makes no sense.
especially when back in the day, you used to see the entire pot, like the same pot in which Yajirobe and Korn were looking in this arc or in this chapter. I meant that thing used to be full when Goku went and did his training with Korn, but,
Mm-hmm.
but nope. And shame on Korn too, because I mean they're always visiting him once once an arc for Senzu beans, and he's never ready.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't know what he does then throughout the day if he's never ready for these sensu beans. Because like, are you observing what's going on Earth, like a Dende, like a Kami before, so you would know what's happening when the Z fighters come up? Like he comes up and it's like he doesn't have a clue.
He he is very pointless. I don't
Like it,
understand why Yajirobe chose to live there. Like, was that ever explained why he lives with Korn?
I
Like,
mean, no taxes. I mean, he doesn't have to buy his own place.
I mean, he fair, but like he helped carry Goku up there, but
Mm-hmm.
like I don't understand why he just posted up. Just you couldn't have asked Bulma for a place to live. He didn't have to live with a cat in isolation. Maybe that's what he wants. Maybe he just loves the free fattening food. And um, where the hell does he make those senzu beans at?
I don't know, but maybe they need to hire new people. Like maybe that's how you get another Z person relevant again. You make them the designated sensu bean person. I know Yansha has his like baseball career and all that, but maybe you have him doing the sensu beans with Poir. Have him
Well,
actually
somebody
do something.
somebody has to run the senzu bean farm
Yep.
because now Goku and Piccolo they got experience farming. You remember?
And Goku is a radish. That is his occupation, a radish grower.
There we go. So while Vegeta becomes the new god of destruction for a universe, Goku becomes a senzu bean farmer. Yep, there
That
we
is
go.
hilarious. So this was a little different on 37 and 36. These some new context. Well, first is Piccolo's telling Korin's like, yeah, this is about to get bad. You know, he's Bulma's like, hey, I can't find the device, yada yada yada. And he's like, this can get rough. So Piccolo says, based on my own battle, I could say these two gammas are about on par with Goku and Vegeta themselves. Obviously, when the movie came out, we didn't know. Well, we did, but a lot of people were debating when this took place. Obviously, this takes place after Moro, and we talked about that in our strongest thing that Piccolo has not seen the Goku and Vegeta since they left
Yeah.
after the Moro arc because it's even confirmed here they have not been home. So he's basing that off the Goku and Vegeta Moro, who it's still very crazy that these androids are as strong as that versions of Goku and Vegeta.
Hmm.
So, what did you think that now it's like officially confirmed that he was referring to like the Moro versions and that Goku and Vegeta have not been home?
What are my thoughts with it? Well, it is kind of whack that Vegeta and Goku have not at least came home.
Mm-hmm.
Like for real, I get it. Training is training, but like Goku can literally teleport across the universe. He can't stop by and say hi to his wife, his kids, his
Mm-hmm.
his granddaughter. He loves his granddaughter, and he is
Mm-hmm.
not seeing her. Like you can't just take one afternoon off. It's kind of crazy. And the thing is, I feel like they should have gone home and at least told everyone, hey, Frieza is back. He's stronger than ever. And we're going to go train with Whis, Beerus, and Broly so that we can beat him. Like, because that's that's the thing too, dude. The fact is that like when danger comes, the people on Earth need to know that, shit's about to hit the fan. It's
Yeah.
also kind of crazy that their only connection is with Whis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is Whis Bulma's only connection? Like, why is it that Goku has a button that can reach Zeno? Why does he not get something that is tied to him personally that, is tied to Bulma? Like, why can Bulma not contact him directly? Because obviously, Whis is not even reliable in these scenarios in which he needs to be reached. But
How do you want even to add on to that? Bulma's literally the smartest person in this verse, one of the smartest people in fiction. Why hasn't she not replicated the device or like put like a different version to like the suit she makes for Vegeta?
yeah, it doesn't make sense, especially considering she created a dragon radar that could find the super dragon balls across like the universe, It's like
Yeah.
if you can make a sensor like that, you can create something that can communicate on the other side. But um
Crazy.
as
Well,
for the gammas being the strength of Goku and Vegeta, I mean, I don't know. I've always had a problem thinking of artificial beings so much stronger than, or like they can easily be as strong as
mhm,
planet breaking individuals. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Because I'm like, why is it that in the past 10 years, 15 years, we went from androids or science that could not even destroy the moon, maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
Might be a stretch. But then out of nowhere, we have androids that can just obliterate everything. Like, like I don't know. We've had Capsule Corps around miniaturizing shit for decades, but just all of a sudden now we the scientists of this universe figured out how to make super powerful beings. But and to think that you could create mechanical beings that are as strong as gods.
yeah. That's the thing too, because we do forget technically Goku and Vegeta, even though they're mortals, Saiyans, they have God ki. They are technically gods in that sense. They're stronger
I
than
don't
some
even,
gods.
I don't even think it's God key anymore, man. It's goofy because like Piccolo can sense. Okay, I will say this: if anyone, if there's anybody that is not a Saiyan or not Goku and Vegeta, anyways, Piccolo should be able to sense. And I just thought of this: Piccolo should be able to sense God key. You know what I mean?
I think they had a thing from the Moral arc where Goku he was able to sense how Goku's Super Saiyan Blue form was stronger than it was in the tournament. So in that sense, he can sense God Ki.
Well, I meant like because in the past I know I have bitched about the fact that people can sense Goku and Vegeta's
Mm-hmm.
God Key energy whenever
Mm-hmm.
it was established that only gods can
Yep.
feel God Key energy. Does that make sense?
Yep.
No. So Krillin should never have known how strong Blue was, but
Yes.
Piccolo makes sense to me since Kami was, well, seen as a god of the planet, and he can sense, like, even back in Z, whenever they first met Supreme Kai, like, Piccolo understood more than any of them what that energy was of Supreme Kai, even though he
Hmm.
couldn't pinpoint it. So that makes sense that Piccolo can, like, compare the two. Honestly, though, I mean, Piccolo didn't fight Gamma 2 enough for him to, in my eyes, be able to compare to a Super Saiyan Blue,
That's a good
especially
point.
because, especially since he is weak as shit. Like,
That's what I was gonna go on to too, because this part wasn't in the movie where he's going through the people. Obviously, Korin asks about Gohan, and he's like, he's no use to us right now. But then he starts going through the list, like we can't use 17 and 18 because they probably know the exploits. Boo is still asleep. Looks like I'm the only person left. That was not mentioned in the movie.
that was not.
So
Definitely 17 and 18 was not mentioned because I feel like we spoke about this. I don't know if we did on a podcast. Maybe it was just, in passing or whatnot. I was in shock that the movie did not have, definitely did not have 17 in it. Was
right.
18 in? Krillin was there.
No, 18 was there because the only thing she has, like, they made
Yeah.
another cell, like,
Oh, yes, yes,
because it
yes,
was
yes.
Krillin, 18, Goten, Trunks.
Yeah, okay, now I remember what we said. We were surprised that 17 wasn't there at all, but we
Hmm.
were surprised that 18 didn't have a bigger story or anything that was like traumatic.
Yes.
I mean, she was ate up by Cell, and like that. There's no way she doesn't suffer from PTSD from that. But and seeing a more improved version of the exact same Cell form that absorbed her, because
Mhm.
Cell Max looks like imperfect Cell, which 17 never fought imperfect Cell, so it's a little bit different for him. But like for 18, that's who she had to deal with. So
Yes.
yeah, the
And then
fact that
also
yeah,
too, to go back to these guardians in communication, just to make more people relevant, like you said, how Whis is the only person to get a hold of. Why can't like Dende or Corin? I mean, if you can't get a hold of someone, go through other ways. Why can't they get a hold of like King Kai or Supreme Kai or Elder Kai and have them reach out to Goku? I just thought of that.
I want to know why like Goku's the only one who talks to King Kai.
Mm.
Like
Hmm.
why no one else? Why okay, Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu, okay.
He talked to Vegeta. He's talked twice. Twice.
Well, he reached out to Vegeta though,
Yes, he
especially
did.
like when Beerus was going to Earth,
Hmm.
he reached out and was like, "Hey, Goku got fucked up. This is the situation." But like, why does Piccolo not?
Yeah, that's good.
Pic-
I don't know why. I mean, that's a very
and
good
and and the
question.
thing is Piccolo fused with Kami, and you remember that when did King Kai and Kami talk? The Namek saga after they when they were trying to coordinate the wishes.
Yes, yeah, they were trying to coordinate the wishes before when Goku refused to leave because he wanted to finish off Frieza. So it was near
So
the end.
so you have Piccolo who trained on trained meditated whatever on King Kai's planet in death, and then you have Kami who communicated with King Kai during the Namek saga. You literally have these two players who merged into one, communicating with a guy that could communicate with anyone across the universe. Or maybe it's the galaxy. I don't know. I forget King Kai's range. But regardless, like
I hear it's
there's
just weird because I feel like there's other ways to communicate besides just button a Whis, and they're not taking full advantage, and it puts them in these type of situations.
yep, agreed. Much agreed.
But
That's goofy.
Bulma finds the thing. Well, actually, a lizard gives it to her, and of course, Whis is observing, and his staff gets blown away, so he's not paying attention. because this is also added. You see a Goku versus Broly little sparring session. This was not in the movie at all. And this is what a whole bunch of people were getting hyped about these last couple of pages, and it may be continued in the next chapter. What did you think about the Goku and Broly sparring session? This really actually ended the chapter.
Eh, Overall, I mean, it was a nice surprise. It's good to see a Goku and Broly sparring match, and you can see Broly is actually making progress and not going as crazy, but still, I mean, like what Goku said, he has work. But I'm undecided of how I feel about Broly referring to Goku as, Son Goku and
Yeah.
not Kakarot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because at the end of the Broly movie, Goku tells him to call him Kakarot, but now he's calling him Son Goku.
Yeah.
It's like, some people liked at the end of the Broly movie that Goku referred to himself as Kakarot because,
Mm-hmm.
he was, more accepting of his Saiyan heritage
Yep.
in his, birth name, blah, blah, blah. That makes sense. But now, Broly calling him Son Goku, is it like, what are we trying to what 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 are they trying to do? Like are you trying to make them more Saiyanish? Or are you trying to uh earth earthenize? That's not a word, obviously. That's some made up bullshit. But like I don't know how to emphasize it. Like, are they trying to bring Broly more down to earth? There you go. That's it. That's my only issue. Like, just I don't know. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you want him to go back?
It made no sense to me because it was literally the last scene in that movie. It's like, oh, you can just call me Kakarot because in theory, I'm gonna say this now, but I could be eating my words because we never know what Toriyama and Toritaro. These are technically right now in Universe 7. I have to preface that the only full-blooded Saiyans left. So Vegeta, Goku, Broly. Obviously, Vegeta calls Goku Kakarot out of
Well,
this.
Vegeta's brother.
Oh, there I go. I missed him too. I forgot he's still alive. Terrible. Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, the full-blooded Saiyans calling each other by their Saiyan names. I feel like that's correct. I don't know why Broly would call him Son Goku when he said you could call me Kakarot. That's how the movie ended, and he smiled. I also found it weird that Goku wasn't getting his ass whooped because Broly's the same dude who showed up in the movie with like only fighting Paragus and then fighting a few Super Saiyan Blue.
Yep.
But it shows that he's getting under control. And obviously, we don't see Beerus or Chile or the other guy or Vegeta. It's just a Goku and Broly thing. And then it'll probably just go to when Goku goes out of control. And
That's the thing that's different in the movie, compared to this. The reason why we didn't see, Bulma calling was because part in, the romantic relationship between Beerus and like Chile that, they allotted to in the movie, or not allotted to, they showed. Who am I kidding? Because you remember it was the ice cream
yep.
bowl that was over the censor, which was kind of ridiculous. So I like it a little more that the reason why Bulma couldn't get a hold of him is because the staff went kind of flying, but also in part like the one time that we've ever seen Whis not hold his staff, like it's all he's ever done is hold that thing with him. Um, oh yeah, we haven't seen the little love story there. But since we got Goku and Vegeta or Goku and Broly fight that we didn't get in the anime or in the movie, will we get the sparring match between? Actually, I'll tell you what I don't care about. I actually don't care about seeing the sparring match between Goku and Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
I want fix the dialogue
Yes.
of Goku talking to Vegeta.
Agreed. Agreed.
That's
100%
all I
agreed.
care about. That's all I care about.
And I would assume that would be the next chapter.
That if they're going to do Whis and If they're going to do everything on Beerus's planet to begin the next chapter there real quick and knock it out, it should be one of the first pages
No, I
because we
100%
won't.
agree.
Because after next chapter, we're not seeing like that's the end of Goku and Vegeta until this arc's done.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
So
it's a good thing you brought that up because I was going to bring that up about like that's something I'm excited for next month, seeing what that dialogue is going to be because there's obviously been some changes that we've seen in this chapter from the movie, but like they got to change that up because it just didn't sound right.
yeah. Again, all of this stuff, as we preach on these previous like podcasts that we've done, everything is a rough draft. Like whatever comes out first is a rough draft, and
Yeah.
then the next one's another rough draft with some provisions, and then whatever comes third is the final, fixer upper of everything. So we got the movie, now we have the manga. We're gonna see what they fix up, and then if it's still stupid, then they're gonna fix it in the anime, hopefully. But it's
I, and there's another question too because this is really the end of it. When Piccolo said Gohan is no use to him right now, just thinking, it made me a little confused because I don't think Piccolo just got magically, well, he will later, but like super duper strong from the moral arc. Gohan showed up from class and beat the hell out of 7-3.
yep.
So you're saying that you're that much stronger than that Gohan from the moral arc that he would not be of use? Like, I was just thinking about that as you were talking about the dialogue for Jiren.
Gohan has shown again. I don't agree with it necessarily, but Gohan has shown during the Tournament of Power he only needs like a day
Mm-hmm.
back to what he was doing, 2 3 days. The Moro arc, didn't they actually have like a month? Wasn't didn't it take Moro like a month to get to Earth or three
Yeah.
months?
And Gohan didn't even he was not even seen training. He showed up in his school clothes.
Nope. And so I mean, Gohan has shown that he can just flip the switch. He can be relevant again, and he can be quick. And at every time that he has done that, Piccolo has been there. So
Mm-hmm.
for Piccolo to say that, it almost seems like he's forgetting what has happened. Just like Toriyama. I mean, forget what has happened in the past and it affects how you write the future. So
Yeah, so that was really it of this chapter. The next chapter will be on May 20th. So yeah, I know most people were excited about seeing the Broly Goku thing, and then a lot of the content creators were chomping at the bit about the Piccolo statement, like, "See, we told you these Gammas were as strong as Goku and Vegeta from the Moro arc. They've not been back for the Granola arc." But Mitch, Dragon
oh,
Ball just has a way of taking over the world when it wants to. And on a funnier note, for those listening, if just go type in ESPN and Dragon Ball, and you will see the funniest memes that have been coming on, all from the question as tweet like ESPN is covering like the Cell games, and you have seen the funniest stuff. And I know you've seen them. What have you thought about like this Dragon Ball trend just coming out of nowhere once again?
I don't understand why it took this long. Like it is such a genius whoever thought of it. And the thing is I favorited the tweet. Who is it? All right, so a shout out to dude's name is Swanky on Twitter at yes Mara look. Yep. He tweeted 3 days ago. Um, or no, screw that guy. That's not who it was. Hey, Swanky, you just got a good shout out, but you're not the homeboy here. It's Roy at Roy Reads Manga. Tweeted on 415 at 103. Tweet like Dragon Ball is real, and that just exploded, and from there, that was whenever then people started doing the ESPN um, reactions. Max Kellerman saying that if there's a energy beam struggle for the fate of the planet, he's picking Piccolo, and
Yes.
people saying Skip Bayless is going to call Goku by the name of Noku.
Yeah.
Whenever he quits against Cell, I'm reading these as we're talking right now, and it's just hilarious. And it
Oh
just
my god.
one of the you shared this one, and it makes me laugh so hard because the overall video makes me laugh, and it's of the video when Alabama Crimson Tide were playing. I don't know who their opponent was, but
Mhm.
a reporter asked Nick Saban at the end a question, and he says the line. He's like, just I'm not going to give you what. How do you say it? I'm not going to give you the answer.
Bec-
So quit asking.
Quit asking. So that was the year two where he was. I remember because Maria Tea asked. It was about the stuff where obviously funny now because he just got paid. Jalen Hurts got benched for the freshman Tua, and Tua finished the title game, and then he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do starting wise?" And he was just fed up with it.
Yeah, so I just listened to it in my ear here real quick, and yeah, the reporter is trying to prompt Saban for something, and he's like, so I'm not going to, so quit asking. So I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to answer is what they're saying. And but the caption was when Goku's trying to gather this energy for the spirit bomb, and Goku's like, lend me your energy. And then the caption is that I just got done working my graveyard shift. It's like, I'm not going, so quit asking.
One of my favorite ones because also this is one of my favorite videos. It's Michael Irvin when he's just like, "What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let him come into your house, eat your food." Pumping up the Z fighters to fight Cell. Like, oh my god, it is crazy to think about like how the way media, especially sports media, if that really happened right now, the coverage would just be wild. Especially Goku quitting. Oh my god.
Didn't you share the one where it was someone bitching that because Goku quit against Cell, they lost their parlay?
Yes. Yes. And I also shared the one where they have like the odds, like best chance to beat Cell at the Cell games. I had Goku at like 42%. And like Vegeta had like nine, Trunks at eight. And then like Gohan was at four. And I'm like, Jesus, someone would have got freaking rich if they put money odds on Gohan beating Cell. It's just wild, man. It's because it was literally out of nowhere, and it took like that was all you were seeing on Twitter. You're just like Jesus, like Dragon Ball is just when they want to, man. Just a random thing could just take over the internet.
Oh, here's what it was. This person was like, it was a part or a kind of like a UFC parlay bet or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So Gohan Son versus Cell, perfect winning method. Gohan Son by obliteration, like total odds plus 360.
And then you have
And it's
The Mike Green bang with the father son Kamehameha.
people freaking out that the moon blew up
Jeez.
4 times or whatever it is.
It would be crazy. It
Ac-
would be so wild.
Actually, I was laughing. There was one where have you ever seen that one meme um, with the guy who's he doesn't know what he's doing on his new job. He's like looking at like a whole bunch of like supercomputers, and he has
Mm-hmm.
his hands on his. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And he's like, the caption is, "This would be my first day working at Capsule Corp." Not knowing what.
Jesus. And then I think one of my favorite ones was because then you start reading them in their voices, the sports commentator people. And this one from Skip Bayless, because this would be Skip Bayless. He would say this. I'm here to tell you today that Perfect Cell will defeat Son Goku. Look at the history, Shannon. He loses most of his major fights the first time. He lost to Mercenary Tao. He lost to Tien. He lost to King Piccolo. Did he win the rematches? Yes, but I'm not trusting him in this first fight.
It's so true, though. It's hilarious.
Man, it's so funny, man, that the fact and then I saw something too with like Sports Center talking about Vegeta. Sand Prince blows another 20-point lead as he could have killed Semi Perfect Cell, but he let him get perfect. So he blew the lead. I'm like, it's the gift that keeps on giving, man.
Yep,
I can't wait till some people start taking it to like the tournament of power because God, ESPN would have had a field day.
yep, yep. That they would have. Yep.
But shoot, Mitch, anything
Dragon.
else in the Dragon Ball world, man?
Actually, yeah, I do have one thing for us.
Hmm.
Just a quick shout out. Since this is our first podcast since April 5th, happy belated birthday to, the founder and
Hey,
the man who, we give him a lot of shit for
yes, we
Super, but
do.
the thing is it's all because we love the product and
Mhm.
love these characters. But happy belated birthday to Akira Toriyama, who
Yeah,
turned, let me do
I think
quick math here.
59, 59,
58,
58.
actually. No, not 58. No, 68. He was born in 1955, so he is um 68.
That's crazy.
Yes. No, is he 60? Oh my God, I gotta pull up my calculator. It's way too I'm late in the night and I'm just losing my mind. Yeah. But anyways, happy belated birthday. Appreciate everything you've done because technically without him, this without him, where is the L7C?
That's
Probably
true.
here
That's
still.
true.
I think I think the L7C, I think you would have kickstarted this, but I think you might have kickstarted it just a little bit later.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to think of it and from that notion because it's like, what would have been the first episode if Dragon Ball didn't exist?
Yep.
Like now, just think, then obviously all the stuff that has happened since the creation and all the animes that have been inspired by
Mhm.
Dragon Ball and giving anime a chance to now be as popular and mainstream and as normal as it is. It's weird to think that if Dragon Ball wasn't around, like where would the anime world in general be at? What things like a Naruto or One Piece or Bleach be created? Like, would other stuff be created? Like, it's just weird to think about.
It really is. Since I don't follow a ton of, animes,
Mm-hmm.
like, especially growing up, but I mean, granted, I was into Yu-Gi-Oh! And a little bit of Digimon,
Mm-hmm.
but I surprisingly, I might be the only person on the planet who was just didn't get into the Pokemon scene. But yeah, who
Well, their
knows
anime
what,
sucks.
I mean, it's fair, but everyone watched it. Everyone loved that jingle. They listened to
Oh,
it all the time.
the jingle is a top. It's a top three like theme American anime theme song of all time. I will give it that, but
You might have to just put it number one because,
probably because everyone does know. Like it's weird that song could get played at parties and people would start belching it out.
you know,
But I hear you, and also too to just be like because you brought up Yu-Gi-Oh too, because obviously, I mean Takahashi he gave his life saving someone, so
you know,
it's weird that now we're like some of these creators can be gone, and no, just obviously when he passed away, all these other anime creators paid their respect towards him. Like if Toriyama passes away, I can only imagine what that would be like.
you know,
But you were saying also like you weren't to continue your point, you were like in Yu-Gi-Oh and then Digimon obviously then but not into like everything.
you know.
But no, I mean they all I mean they're Goku and Tori they're the Godfather, man. They're the Godfather. Just easy enough to explain it.
What shirt would Kenny Omega have worn if Toriyama didn't exist? Who knows? Maybe he would have shown up on AEW shirtless. Maybe. Who knows?
It's funny. You even brought up us of the L7C, and I, I mean, there's no denying it. Dragon Ball is a big fan base of our podcast. There's just
Yeah.
no denying it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Dragon Ball didn't exist? How many people would not have a job right now?
Oh, for real. Well, I'll tell you, Geekdom wouldn't be putting out, uh, you know, hard, stone cold, hard facts before they even occur. and getting him wrong or getting him right. Let me tell you, we wonder what he would have been doing. Or Unreal,
Well, Unreal would probably just still been doing his like
wrestling.
wrestling stuff, but without Dragon Ball, because Unreal, he's the best fan manga person out there. Like he puts in work on those. I know, like one of our things is that like we wish there was just a site where we can just read them all, and because obviously if his voice isn't for you, it's not for you. But he puts in a lot of work on those fan mangas.
Yep, that he does.
And they
That he
wouldn't
does.
exist if Dragon Ball didn't exist. Like you're just thinking about all those. These are people who have millions of followers who are rich, like
Yep.
Unreal, Geekdom, Sand Scholar, Dragon Team Force. Like what the hell would they ever all these people do if Dragon Ball didn't exist? If Toriyama didn't decide to make this, and what would how would '90s kids get through?
Stone Cold Steve Austin and Michael Jordan. That's all we. Who knows how it would have turned out? Our employers would not have liked us. Let me tell you, if if Austin was your only inspiration as a child, like just flip him the bird and stun him.
No, it's just it's weird to think about. Would Cartoon Network have? What if Toonami would have made it as far as it did without Dragon Ball?
No, it would not have. Well,
Like,
okay, that's the reason why I say no is because something would have had to fill its shoes, and in that alternate universe, probably something would have, but like it's hard to it whatever that something is not it's not in our universe, if that makes sense.
it does
Because
because it makes a whole lot of sense. Because if you're just thinking, I'm just thinking of the stuff that was all the stuff was big, but it was all like, all right, you're getting all this stuff, and then Dragon Ball's the main course. You're getting Gundam, you're getting Zoids, you're getting all of this stuff. But
hmm
there's a reason Dragon Ball when had an hour slot if they wanted to.
yep, yep. They had 6:30, man,
Mm-hmm.
or at least just 6:30 because 6 o'clock was like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, yeah, you could watch Dragon Ball, then go to Dragon Ball Z, and then there's a reason the show. Like I know the movie quality has jumped up significantly to like the Dragon Ball Super era, but this is before that. This was a show that's had like 13 plus movies. Hey,
Mhm. Yeah, here's the thing about Dragon Ball that people need to realize: they were the MCU before the MCU.
true. They
Now,
like
granted, they were nowhere near as popular. Well, the movies, I should say.
well, not any, well, yeah, not since like the Broly movie, but they were pumping out like a movie, like what every 2 year, every year.
It would seem like it. Yeah, they would pump out borderline multiple movies during the same arc. It's like
Like the world's
unheard
strongest,
of,
like, gee.
unheard of
Mm-hmm.
to think about.
And I would also think too, with like, you want to talk about continuity. These have been almost the same voice actors this whole time.
We
Almost.
if you believe in a higher power, anyone who's listening, regardless of where you are, if you believe in a higher power, you need to thank them for the
Mm-hmm.
fact that we've had, whether it be the dub or the sub, like you know what I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that these people have been around for 25, 30 years doing the same voices, and for the most part, they sound pretty. I mean, Christopher Sabat. I mean, granted, his Vegeta sounds different than whenever he first started, but it's
Yes.
it's all recognizable, and it's just you thank whoever that power is that you believe in because, and if you don't believe in a power, then luck is greatly on your side, and you need to go to a casino and put it all on red or something. I don't know. The luck that you have in your life is amazing. Like we should all be extremely grateful with where our lives are that they were still doing this.
Yeah, and even these voice actors, English and Japanese, for both of them, they've done all those movies. They've
hmm
done Dragon Ball Z, Kai, GT, Super, done all that. They're all the video games.
Yep.
Now I'm kind of thinking that's the I don't want to be that. I don't want to give them credit. I just think Super hasn't come back because they're not they're idiots. but I kind of want to give him a small thing. If Tenkaichi 4 or new video games was the reason, because I can only imagine, like, can you imagine like a Sabbath or Sean be like, oh, I need to go to voice recording for a big episode, but then I need to go over to the other side because we got a movie going. Oh, we got Dragon Ball Budokai 3 and the Legacy of Goku 3 Boost Fury. So I got to record for two video games. Oh, now I got to go record a Dragon Ball commercial. And on the Japan side, like Macau was saying, oh, I got to do all this stuff and I got to do Dragon Ball Heroes. Like, could you imagine doing all that stuff for, like you said, like 30 years?
You know,
But
just
it,
for someone to be so committed to a role, I mean, any employer would love it.
yeah. And it's, and I know they're getting paid
Yep.
because if they were not, they would have left. And they've been keeping these actors. Obviously, we've had some pass because of illnesses and old age, but it's wild, man, and it's here to stay. And again, I say it almost every podcast: when they want to take over the news, they can take over the news.
Yep. That is true. That they can.
Shoot, Mitch, anything else?
Mm,
We still
no.
have no
Yeah.
news on the page.
What day are we on? Are we on day? Let's see. We haven't had an anime since 2018,
And it's
right? So
2023.
5 years. So we're on approximately, day 1,500, and I'm going to pick a number, 96 days of no anime.
We did get the Dragon Ball Super Heroes. We got that latest episode, which that was cool. They did some cool things on that one with the future Gohan and Trunks record. That was good.
Yeah, that it was, and seeing Vegito again fighting, the new and improved Demigra. I mean, I like that they're doing something with Yamcha, giving him a little love story just for the hell of it. I
About
don't,
to marry a god.
whatever, but hey, you do your thing, Yamcha. Become relevant again. I'm all for it. So,
Mitch, just a crazy thing too. Just real quick on page 4445. If you look at Broly's face, he does not have his scar.
shit, you will make me yell at Toritaro for.
I know after giving them all this flowers, and then we go back to
I love planting a flower bed, for people and stomping it. Just where the hell? What page you say?
the last page where he's
Yeah.
like, "I'm ready when you are, Son Goku."
On his left cheek because you can see that scar on 41.
Yep.
You see it on 42. Yep, you don't see it on 43. Yep, that's bullshit. You don't see it on. You do see it on 44. Okay. Yep. Oh my God, that's worse. So you said 45? You said 45, right?
Yeah, like the last one, he's like, "I'm ready, Son
Here's
Goku."
the problem. Here's the fucking problem. And that is it. There on page 45, you see Broly's the front of his face on two panels.
Hmm.
One at the top has the gosh damn scar, and the
Hmm.
one down at the bottom doesn't. It's on the same page. He literally drew this. He literally was it
You
was
can't make
staring at
this
him.
up. You can't make this up.
Come on. Like, seriously.
Can't make it
Oh my
up,
God, I had
man.
to take my glasses off. I'm rubbing my eyes.
You
Oh my
can't
God.
make this up.
They need, oh my God, whoever works on their quality control or quality assurance team that proofreads or double checks this shit. They're 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 horrible. They're either horrible or they have no power or they don't exist. Like if they're horrible, then we already know that. They miss shit and they don't tell anyone about it or whatever they whatever. Um, if they have no power, then they go to them and they're like, "Hey, here's a mistake with your illustration, or here's your mistake with what you have established in the lore in the past." And then it ultimately comes down to then they have no power because they're like, bro, shut your mouth, go back to your cubicle, collect your paycheck, because we're all going to get rich because these suckers don't care.
I would love to take a part-time job and like as the person who reminds them, hey, remember, we've actually done this and we got to keep some continuity. Like they need to hire that person.
Bro, they could literally, and the thing is that like so many people of the fandom would do it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, if they came up and they're like, "Hey, L7C, you guys talk about us a lot. We love your support. We also know that you bash us a lot. How about we give you the rough drafts the week prior? Here's your non-disclosure agreement. Sign this thing and tell us what we're doing wrong or any
Mm-hmm.
corrections. Don't tell us like suggestions, like your theories or whatever you think should be done. Tell us what we have established and need to stick to. I would be like, holy shit, yes. Get me the freaking the most fine pen you can get. I'll get one of those feathered pens that they signed a declaration with. Like I would sign that non-disclosure agreement instantly. And like I'd just be like, yeah, send me that shit on the 13th. I'll check it real quick that night. I'll skip dinner. I'll get it done. I'll email you back. And then you guys over in Japan, you can get working because by the time I read it after dinner, you guys are going to be showing up for work the next morning. So perfect timing.
I agree. I
Nope.
mean,
Nope. I'm a scrub who just reads it and then hops on the fabulous L7C to talk about it. So
that's crazy. That's just crazy bringing up. Last thing because you brought up because this will be the first podcast actually mentioning it. If you go to the L7C YouTube, you'll actually see that we hit a Omega milestone. We hit 1,000 subscribers slash followers. If you've listened to our end of year pods, I mean that's been Mitch's biggest thing. Growing like, hey, let's get to 50, let's get to 100, let's get to that. And even before the year, I didn't think we before the year is over, we got to 1K, man. So it's a really big deal, especially as just a mom and pop podcast. Like this is wild.
yeah, it's insane. Congratulations to you for being the one who leads the charge on all these podcasts. Great job to everyone who helps contribute. Their various topics of expertise and just great job all around, all around.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. I actually can't wait for next month because the only thing me and Mitch are going to be looking for in that chapter is the Jiren dialogue wording.
First 15 pages.
Yes.
That's
So you may. It's been a while. I think it's been a while since me and Mitch have had a true. I mean, it almost got close on this last page because Mitch was talking about wiping his glasses. It's been a while since me and Mitch had a true Dragon Ball bitch fest, like where we're just really going off. If the wording is the same as the movie about why Jiren was so much stronger, or worst case scenario, it's worse, buckle up.
you know that strap in, strap in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Let me tell you, I'm ready. I am freaking ready.
With that being said, this is the L7C podcast signing out.